Doing good. So we are back to our kind of like our usual setup. It's more simpler for me to just use my phone, and it's a little more IRL, you know? So yeah, we are going to be getting into some data, and we're going to be breaking things down for you guys. So we have quite a bit of things going on. There's a lot of things going on with the Schumann resonance that I think a lot of people are not really getting into, things people aren't really talking about. So, we got to get into it. How is everyone doing? We're going to have to get a nice audio check. How is everyone? Yeah, a good audio check. I would assume we do. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to kick off with the Schumann resonance. How's everybody doing in the stream, by the way? So right over here, what we got going on is very intense. So this was, believe it or not, on February 6th, right before February 7th. And we had this huge horizontal line, just around 20 hertz. This is pretty intense energy right here. Of course, we have this big white push of energy. This was a power 57. So if you didn't watch the most recent video, this was a really big intense push of energy that was just around this time, but yesterday. 7, what's up? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're doing good. And of course, we keep looking at 7 today. As of right now, not much going on. We do have a little bit of integration energy. It looks like a spike happening around here. But overall, we have a lot of moderate activity on the Schumann resonance spectrum. Here's where things get kind of interesting. We did have a blackout today. A little quick, as you can see, black line just around hour 14. So we did have this blackout. Very minimal, really quick, maybe a 10-20 minute blackout. This is like some will call this a timeline jump. And overall, of course, 0 to 30 is the hertz. And on the bottom, we run a 24-hour format, goes by 2 hours. So green is moderate, blue is very calm, green is moderate. But one of the things you'll see is we got all this really intense energy. We had this band of horizontal spikes right here. These horizontal bands resonating at the harmonic frequencies of the Schumann resonance. And as you can tell, this is very intense energy right here. It's much thicker bands, thicker spikes if you want to call them, even though they're not vertical spikes, but I like to call them spikes. So much more intense. We have white all the way in the bottom. This is unusual. We don't normally have this on the electromagnetic spectrum, but because the sun has been very active and we've had a very large complex sunspot region, right? When we get something like that and we have so many solar flares, so much solar activity, so much is happening right now. It has impacted Earth. They even delayed. I forgot the mission that they did. There was a space mission that they were going to go to the moon. They delayed that too. I don't know what their exact reasons were, but they did delay it, which was, not surprising with a massive sunspot region like that is literally facing us. So I'm going to see if I could pull up. Again, I don't know what's going on with the data right now. Apparently there hasn't been any data for many hours now. Looks like we're finally starting to get some data. Just want you guys to know there has been no solar flares lately. I'll get back into Schumann resonance data. We do have a monstrous-sized coronal hole. For those who don't know, this dark spot right here is a gigantic coronal hole. This is where the sun has a cooler spot on it, and that's why it turns dark. And energy, plasma, technically plasma, escapes from the sun more freely. That could slam the earth, causing auroras as well. It's not the main contributor to auroras, but it could happen, and you could have a G1, usually G1 geomagnetic storm, or of course just more plasma really bombarding the earth. And we should get into some other stuff. So talk about the Schumann resonance, the spectrum, everything getting pretty wild. We look at the Italian Schumann resonance, and of course we got some red spikes over here, as you can see. So activity is there, you know. Then I have these weird, odd, ghostly-like lines. I don't even know what to call these. Magnetic field has got a little bit of activity going on right now. Overall, not much going on over here. There hasn't been too much earthquake activity. Let's see if I could pull up let me show you guys how active this sunspot region's really been. And if we take a good look at it right now, it actually looks significantly more different. This is a huge sunspot. It's still a big size right now. It has 25 sunspots, and if we could get some more data on what it's really done. Look at this. Look at how interesting this sunspot has gone. So the size and the number of sunspots significantly increased within 2 days. It shot up to 21 sunspots, and it shot up to a size of 550. Now we keep going and looking. It really blew up a lot. 47 sunspots and nearly 1,100. Now, I'll get into the size. We're talking about the size right now, right? The area of a sunspot is exposed in millions of a solar hemisphere. 1,000 is 3.0437 million square kilometers. This means a sunspot group can cover an area of 1,870 mH, which is 0.187% of the Earth's facing solar surface. So this right here is like the Earth, basically, and this sunspot, which is just a little spot on the sun, is much larger than our planet. Very intense here. When you look at the activity, we're talking 5x classes, actually 6x class solar flares, 62M and 50C. This one sunspot region has produced some serious, these are the top 10. Actually, there's another one. It'll probably be around here, probably be the second one, that the 4.4 we had. Not sure why I don't know why it's not being shown still, but insane. So this has been, one serious sunspot region that has been unbelievably active. It has been very active. And we already talked about the Schumann resonance and the electromagnetic spectrum already, the Italian Schumann resonance. We've gone through a lot of things already. I hope everybody's doing good. Sorry about the late stream. I'll try to get on an hour earlier than usual, like around 9 p.m. or so Eastern time. I hope everybody's doing good. Please hit the like button and subscribe button. I hope everybody's doing good, by the way. Let me know how's everybody doing. Feel free to chat. So it's been a wild sunspot region. I don't think anybody has really looked at how devastating it's been. I mean, if you rack up 50 and 62 and 6, 68 plus 50, I think we're talking about 118 solar flares from one specific region. That's pretty crazy, if you ask me, right? So if we compare this to just a regular sunspot, let's see, this one has covered the same amount of distance, right? Like from all the way to the left to the right. Let's take a look at 4362. What has it done, right? Like, how much has it grown? It's only had like one, at most 6, 8 sunspots, which is pretty normal, and the size is very small. It produced, and this was actually kind of good, right? 6 C's and 2 M's, which is pretty good, you know? Quite something, right? So this is like pretty average, pretty much your normal sunspot. 8 solar flares. AR4366 produced 118. That is literally insane. Gwen, how you doing? It's so good to have you here. Really, really happy. So let's look at this gigantic coronal hole right now. This is one large coronal hole. It's a northern hemisphere coronal hole. It's not facing us, so it's not a transequatorial one, but it's definitely much higher up. We're going to keep on going. Tell you right now, the sun is definitely active. And I'm really happy you made it. So yeah, we pretty much covered everything, you know. If anybody wants to talk about anything though, I did help. I really helped out. You did the exercises. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's good. Yeah, trust me. Did you hear about how many sunspots, how many solar flares that one region gave? 118 solar flares. It gave more M's than C's. 62 M's. 6 X's. And 50 C's. 118 solar flares from one sunspot region. Which is pretty wild. We never had this. I don't recall having this from a sunspot region, right? Like if that thing had one big X class, that would have been insane. Thank you so much. Yeah, the sun is truly active. And I know for a fact that this year we could have a pretty big event. I don't know. I think this would be the year we get a massive solar storm, right? Maybe we do. I mean, we already had crazy stuff this cycle, right? It's been a wild solar cycle 25. But I still think there's definitely something coming. And I think August, everybody's talking about August. This August will be crazy. I forgot there's an eclipse this month too. Isn't there an eclipse this month? We got something going on February 18. Remember that number, February 18, that date. There's a lot of things gonna happen. There's some pretty crazy stuff going on. But everybody's been talking about August. A lot of people have been talking about August of 2026. This will be no ordinary Lions Gate. This is one interesting year, and I think it's really starting to kick up, and a lot of things are coming from the past 9 years, the past lives, everything that's going on right now, planetary geometry, planetary astrology, everything. I mean, we're talking about past stuff and everything. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on though. We did have a blackout on the electromagnetic background. Yeah, we also did a video talking about declares. There's 8 of them. A solid 8 clairs. Let me know if you guys have unlocked all of your clair abilities. 2029 is going to be a very interesting year. We're also going to have a really pretty rare planetary alignment. That will be an interesting year, but this year is going to be really interesting. Yeah, so let me know how's everybody been doing. The vagus nerve, yeah, that vagus nerve exercise is really powerful. If you're stuck on fight or flight, that video will like really help out. And the nervous system course, we have like, a couple videos or a couple practices that are really good. Really calm down the anxiety. But yeah, it's been so cold, like everywhere. It's been really cold. I want to go somewhere nice and warm. Alright, we got something going on with the Schumann resonance right now. Okay, so if you look over here, we had a nice spike, but it didn't start at like 2 hertz or 0 hertz. It started around 4. Then we had this weird dot, and then now we have something coming in again over here. Now this, I think is around 14, which is a harmonic frequency. So very interesting to be seeing that in real time. And then of course, it looks like a vertical spike, Very interesting. Remember when I talked about those really weird things on the Schumann resonance? We had like these really weird dots in activity, and then we had earthquakes like everywhere in America and everywhere. Nothing like gigantic, but there were just big earthquakes everywhere. Let me know how's everybody doing. The energy from like the sun, right? Like the past week. Is that the energy you're referring to? Right. Someone's saying vertical spikes. We're talking right here. The phone, unfortunately, the phone, it's vertical. So this right here, this spike, even though this one's like left and right horizontal, this vertical spike right here was a power 57 yesterday. This one is horizontal. Yeah, for those who don't know, really big energy. The energy, this energy is, it's really, I think it really triggers a lot of people, and it really makes people mad or something like that, or get something out. It's really good, get that stuff out. The energy is assisting us. I feel like we are truly quickening. I feel like time is going by much faster. So, pretty interesting times we're in. Nighttime. I mean, I would say based on my knowledge, every single X-class solar flare that happened was in the early morning. That's number one. Most of the activity on the Schumann resonance happens now. I mean, sometimes we get it like around 12 p.m. noon in Eastern time, New York time, but we get it at nighttime, or we're usually getting it when we're sleeping. All the solar flares have been happening around 5 a.m. UTC time, or 8 a.m., 11 a.m. UTC time. Yeah. So that's what I think, basically. I could be wrong. But yeah. Um, but then again, I don't know. Are you going 6 hours or 7 hours without water or food before you sleep? Because all that kind of plays a thing. Electrolytes, magnesium. You got to get that nutrition in. Um, that's pretty much like what I think. So I don't know. Depends what you do at night. Depends how hydrated you are. About an hour or two before bed. Make sure you're kind of hydrated. Most of your water should be throughout the day, midday, early. Not too late. You don't want to drink like right before you go to bed, but at least an hour or something, hour, 2 hours before bed. Make sure you at least got some water in your body. So I guess it depends on fasting. Some people they go 4 hours before they sleep, and I don't know. But yeah, I guess it just depends though. In America, we literally sleep through this stuff. We're literally sleeping and it's waking us up, right? So that's kind of the thing, though. I don't know, like most, if you really think about it, all this activity has really been when we sleep, which is so frustrating. That's literally why I think a lot of people struggle with sleeping. Yeah, Gwen, I think a lot of people get that too, right? You feel like it's a day ahead, or sometimes you feel like you're a day behind, or anything like that. That happens. Alright, everyone, I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. I'll try to get on at least like an hour earlier, and I'm going to be streaming again Monday. Thank you guys so much. Oh, interesting. Tomorrow is the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm still going to stream, but we'll have to see what happens, you know? The time is usually, hopefully, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I mean, I'm not gonna watch the Super Bowl. I don't watch it. I haven't watched it. I just don't know if like there's gonna be like an internet issue or something, or if people won't watch or something. I don't know. But it is the Super Bowl, so we'll have to see what happens. You know, never know what happens. But yeah, I'll generally be streaming probably around 9:30, 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll start around there. Yeah, we have a community post. I'll probably make a community post. But usually you get notifications if you turn them on. Make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe button. Alright, thank you.